Hello everyone and welcome back to Overwatch 101. I hope you've been enjoying this series so far. I'm trying to put as much work and as much love and effort into this that I can. This is a series where I'm trying to help console players get a little bit better at the game. Once again, that's not to say that you're bad at the game because you play on console. No, there are lots of really good players on console. But we all know that PC is where we see the pro scene, right? That's where that's where you see your better players is on PC. So what I'm trying to do is give you some of those tips, some of those tricks and things like that, so that, and give you the pro tactics on like maps and things like that, so that you can improve your game just a little bit. Today we are on Eichenwalde, and we're covering how to attack Eichenwalde. Now this takes me back a little bit, right? There's a little bit of nostalgia here because episode 3 of this series we filmed here discussing choke points and how to control choke points and things like that. So this takes me back a little bit. Beautiful old Stuttgart back there, alright? Now there are 3 ways you can leave Eichenwalde spawn room for attacking, right? You can go left, which I never ever go left, and I don't recommend it. It takes way too long to get where you need to be. You're taking too much time off of the clock going this way. I don't ever recommend it, right? I don't recommend going left ever, right? You can go out the middle, which is fine. That's that's usually the way most teams go, especially your tanks. They'll go right up the middle. But if you want to know the truth of it, I actually prefer going out the right side, even as an entire team. Because from the right, you have all of this cover of these houses right here where they cannot shoot you, right? So I just come down here, go around up these stairs, okay? Now they will see you, right? They will see you going through here usually, okay? However, you just want to keep pushing, right? And the reason you want to keep pushing is because you can grab a nice little high ground up here. And this is nice to have for bastions, soldiers, piggies, and things like that, because you can combat if anybody's holding up there much better, right, if you're up here. Now, eventually, hopefully you get some pickoffs, but even if you don't, eventually you are just going to have to jump down, okay, and then Lucio speed boost right through here really quick and go, right? And the reason we do that is because this is the most wicked choke in the entire game, okay? It is a low-hanging choke, so pharaohs can't just boost through here, right? They have to go from above. It is just a really nasty choke. It's really narrow, it's really low, it's really wicked, okay? And the only real way you have to go is through there, and we discussed that in the other video, right? I was giving you some tips early that the way to attack Eichenwalde is to go through there to the right. Because going straight forward can be extremely dangerous. Symmetra turrets, maze that are going to wall you off from your team and things like that. Super, super dangerous, okay? Bastions that are just right there, right? That can just fire into you can be super dangerous if you're just going straight forward, okay? And then going off to the left isn't really much of an option because at that point, you'd be much better off just hightailing it to the objective, right? Just hiking it and legging it to the objective. You'd be much better off just doing that than going all the way through that room. So I don't recommend going this way because it's pretty much pointless. It's redundant. You're going to grab that high ground, right? And then you're going to jump down, and then you're going to speed boost around this corner as fast as you can. Oh my goodness, you're going to speed boost. You're going to go. He's going to do that. And then I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to do it back at him, right? We stunned each other. Boom. We're going to kill him probably, right? Because the rest of the team is firing at him as well. We're going to come get this bastion. We're going to shake him, right? We're going to shake him like a little dog. Like, no, you can't do that, right? Now, hopefully, they haven't gotten any pickoffs on you so far, but even if they have, you're committed at this point. This is what is known as a dry push, and we talked about this before, which is pushing without using your ultimates, right? Seeing if you can take the objective without wasting an ultimate. Now, let's say we kill the Reinhardt, we killed the Bastion. Now we're gonna start moving up here, okay? We're gonna move up here because this gives us so much cover from enemy fire, right? They can't do anything to us unless they wanted to follow us in here, which we said was a mistake, right? If you remember, this is absolutely a mistake for them to follow us into here because it's a choke and it's a closed-in area, and we have cover from their fire until they get around this corner. So they absolutely don't want to follow us in here. We're going to keep moving up to this high ground, right? And they're going to be probably firing into you, and that's fine, but you just fire back. You try your best to get your pickoffs, all right? And this is a really good area to be because you can see the entire objective, all right? Maybe you get your pickoffs, okay, and then you jump down, all right? Now be aware that there could be people coming back that you may have killed earlier coming through this door. So when you jump down, you always want to jump down and turn around quickly while you're in the air. Never jump down and then have your back to this door like this. This is suicide, because someone's going to come through this door and absolutely slaughter you. So when you jump down, right? When you jump down, you jump and you turn in the air and you face this door, okay? And then start backing up so that you can use the payload for cover, all right? You are going to see a lot of opposition from up there as well when they come spawning back in. But usually, once you break that choke and you come over here, you can usually get the pickoffs you need so that you can take this objective and start moving this payload. Alright, now, we're going to start moving the payload, alright? But you're going to have to be really weary up in here, okay? This is where things can get really dangerous. Right here at this first door, okay? You can see a lot of aggression from in there. Alright, you can see a lot of aggression from over there. There can be a lot of aggressive things happening here, so you just have to call those threats out. Say, oh, we got a Reaper to the right, we got a Bastion to the left, call those things out, okay? Now, let's move through the door. Hopefully we took care of those aggressions, hopefully we took care of those threats. Now we're going to discuss where you're going to see threats big time, and it is up there and right there, okay? And maybe even in there. You're going to see a lot of threats right here. You just have to deal with those however you can. Your flankers, right, can come around here to the right and start moving really sneakily up here, okay? And then boom. Now they're in here where they were, okay? And now they can start attacking, maybe get some pickoffs. So this can be really good for offensive flankers to come up these stairs and come around. Because as an entire team, you really just want to stick with the payload and use it for cover as much as you can, right? They can shoot you all they want to from right there, but if the payload's right in front of you and it's moving up this road, you can just kind of hide behind it, right? If they're not contesting it, then just hide behind the payload and move it, right? Because they're going to eventually have to just come down and contest it because they don't want you to get this far, all right? So you're going to see a lot of threats on these high grounds, okay? These high grounds on Eichenwalde are where you're going to see almost all of your threats. However, you cannot neglect, right, the on-the-ground flanking routes, okay? You cannot neglect these flanking routes, even behind you. You can't neglect those, okay? You want to put most of your focus up above, but keep a vigilant eye for anything behind you or to the left of you. Alright, so we're going to keep moving through here. Alright, now this choke right here is where you're going to see a ton of aggression. This is where you're going to see most of your teams defending. Because for them to defend down there would be suicide. That would be crazy. And we'll discuss that in the next video. So we're going to keep moving through here. We just have to be aggressive when we get to this choke. Let our flankers try to do their job and get around and cause distractions in the back, right? Let them do that. And then we can be aggressive on the front and move through this nasty choke. Now when we get to the top of this hill, okay, this can be another really difficult area to deal with because this is a relatively long lane right here. Okay, crossing this bridge can be extremely dangerous and nobody really likes it, but you just have to do it, okay? Divas and Lucios love to just boot people off and be really distracting and really irritating and not nice. But you just have to deal with it, okay? When you do come up here though, you always want to watch back here. Always be looking, always be watching for threats behind you. Symmetras love to put their stuff in their old spawn because nobody ever checks that. So if you hear Symmetras setting up shield generator or teleporter, come in here and just find it, right? Now, of course, I can't go in there right now, but once we push past that choke, then you can come in here and just find it and obliterate it, right? Because you have to. Alright, so let's move on. Let's use our, like, the best thing to do when you get to this bridge, and the only advice I really have for you, is to just trudge through it, right? And use the payload for cover as much as you can. Okay, now obviously if someone is contesting it, then yeah, you just have to fight it out. And yeah, it sucks being up here, right? It sucks because there's just nothing you can do there's nothing you can do to prevent yourself from falling, right? If anybody is prone to falling, it can happen to anyone, that's fine. You just have to use the payload for cover as much as you can, and then fight when you have to. And then hopefully you'll make it across this bridge before anything too major happens, okay? Now at that point, when you're right here, they're just going to be spilling out trying to contest. You just have to fight it off and say, nah man, no way, I'm getting this checkpoint, we're going to break through this door, and that's going to be the end of it, okay? Well, not the end of the map for sure, but that's going to be the end of this area, okay? And we're moving inside next. So you just have to be aggressive, you just have to tell them no. Now there's a big juicy health pack right here to the left, okay? So for me, I always say that when you're at this point and you want to go inside, flanking around to the left is really nice because you can grab this on your way in and then boom, start attacking them here, right? Now, that's if they're foolish enough to hold right here, because this would be crazy for them to be this close. But if they are this close, you just fight them off, right? You come through the big double doors, okay? You always have to watch up there. You can see all kinds of nasty things up there. But for the most part, all the aggression that you see will be straight in front of you, okay? It'll be right through there. It'll be in that area there. It'll be around this corner, okay? That's where most of your aggression is going to be. That's where most of the resistance that you see will be. You won't see too much up there, but you just have to keep a vigilant eye for people that are trying to be naughty, right? That's all it is. So, we move through, and lucky for us, we have the high ground up here, right? And it's slowly declining until we get onto an even ground, and then you just have to fight it out, okay? Now, Symmetras can do all kinds of nasty things in here. This Symmetra is really good for this map because her teleporter, her shield generator, can be really hard to find, right? So you just have to be aware that if she puts it down, it could be back there in their old spawn, right? You have to check in there, okay? You have to go all the way around there sometimes to look for it. You have to go in there. Most of the time, it's going to be around the back of there, right? If you go through here, it'll take you all the way around there and back there, right? Now that's a big flank for your flankers, and they should definitely take it. But as a team, I would suggest staying with the payload and being aggressive because you've got the high ground here. Eichenwalde can actually be very difficult to defend, right? Especially when you're inside this area, and it is because it's all downhill from here for the defending team, which sucks. But you know what? That's all right. We're just going to be aggressive. We're just going to fight it out. Now, when we get to this bend in the road right here, or I should say the bend in the rug, right, because we're inside now. When we get to this bend, it really is just an even playing field from here. Okay, you have to watch a high ground there, you have to watch a high ground there, but that's pretty much it. And I mean, you might see some aggression up there, high ground up there. Okay, but those are your three little high grounds. The rest of it is going to be fight it out, okay, and they're going to come spilling in from their spawn, which is over there. Okay, you just fight it out. You just keep getting those kills. You just keep doing as much damage as you can to them as they spill out, right? Use your ults smartly, right? If you see the entire team come out, then just boom, right? Hit them with it, do a lot of damage, okay? And then prepare for theirs. Prepare for their ult, okay? If you don't get the team wipe, I should say. If you ult on them, then you should get a team wipe because your entire team should take advantage of that. But hopefully you play aggressively, you get the team wipe, and then they can no longer spill out of their spawn, it's all staggered and stuff. It's pretty much over from there. Okay, and we're right here in front of Mr. Balderic himself, right? Balderic the Brave, or whatever his name is. He's a really cool guy. It's one of Reinhardt's skins, by the way. But I hope you enjoyed attacking Eichenwalde. That's really the best way to go about it. Attacking that first objective and then moving the payload, just calling out the threats as we've discussed before. That's really all there is to it. But I hope you've enjoyed. This is Overwatch 101, signing off.